This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to the boys.
Hey guys, this is Dan Rosa and welcome to True Heel Heat.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for NJPW New Japan Cup 2025 preview. Breaking down the tournament starting this coming Friday, March 7th. From Kurgan Hall, it is the strongest of the spring will be decided as the best of New Japan Pro Wrestling compete for a shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship coming up this April at Sakura Genesis. And of course, to discuss that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the one and only. It is her life. It is Sonal's life. Sonal is here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We've had a bit of a break with New Japan, obviously Fantastic Money, and now what? We've got anniversary show tomorrow, then the New Japan Cup, and then Sakura Genesis. We are fully into the New Japan year. Because obviously at the Fantastic Money, we also had Best of Super Junior, announcement. Yeah. It's that time where, we had a little bit of a break after Wrestle Kingdom and New Beginnings, but now we're fully back into the year.
We're back into the flow of the year. We have that break between New Beginning and the New Japan Cup and anniversary show, but there's no more breaks anymore. We got a full month of the New Japan Cup, like you said. Then it goes right into Sakura Genesis. Then from Sakura Genesis, you got to go to the U.S. for Windy City Riot. Then we got, I think there's going to be more shows in April for New Japan. Then we got at the beginning of May is Resurgence, and then also Best of Super Junior. So
best time
yes,
of the year, best time of the year, Best of Super Junior. Without fail, I always say this, right? They have plenty of tournaments throughout the year, but I don't think I've ever been disappointed with a bet, like just with the juniors in general, even like Super Junior Tag League. While there are very few teams, I feel like the disappointment levels are always much higher with like New Japan Cup, G1, and World Tag League than I don't know. Anyone else? Do you feel that? Is it just me? Or is it just because I love the junior division? Might just be bias.
it might be your bias, but no, I will admit that the Super Junior, Best of Super Juniors always delivers. The Super Junior Tag League always delivers. I think that the G1 for the most part usually always delivers as well. It's always a toss up, like you said, with like New Japan Cup and World Tag League more than any of the other tournaments.
It's quite hit and miss, isn't it, with like what Gato decides to do. Gato, what are you gonna do this year?
That goddamn Gato always screwing up my
Obviously,
picks,
guys,
always screwing me over.
We say it nicely because Gato obviously watches this. He's an avid watcher of True Heel Heat.
I was just bigging him up over on Fightful Overbooked. I was like, everybody's talking about, everybody's excited with WWE coming off of John Cena's heel turn. I don't know if you know this and all, but we called it here on the channel.
I saw your tweets. I did see your tweets because obviously, like, guys, if you don't know this, I have like 2 Twitter accounts, and one is like my main one, which is like K-pop and stuff, which I use for work and things, and then I occasionally go on to my wrestling one just because there's too many people, and God, sometimes wrestling Twitter pisses me off. Right?
Tends to do that.
But I remember seeing the heel turn, and I was like, shit. And then the first thing I saw was like your tweet. Like, and I was like, oh my God, that's oddly specific. But trust SP3 to like predict the most oddly specific thing to happen with WWE.
I'm very good. I'm very good at this predicting thing. I don't know if you know this.
Can you predict that I'm gonna get hired by New Japan and then it'll happen? Yeah,
of course. I think Sonal, you are gonna work with New Japan one day. You're so lovable. You're a genuine, enthusiastic fan of New Japan. They just need to hire you to either be like a writer for the website or maybe a writer for the creative team because Gato sometimes needs help. So
come on, Gato. I can help. Like, I will be there, and I'll even throw aside my hatred of House of Torture to make sure I don't just get rid of them.
I mean, I would have called you Booker of the Year if you got rid of House of Torture.
I would have been literally the most popular booker of anybody if I got rid of House of Torture. I just relegated Evil to just like the opening matches with the Young Lions.
They're gonna be like, whoever this new booker for New Japan is, they must hate House of Torture. But we love them. We love Sonal for that.
I know. Well, the first thing I'll do, disband House of Torture, move show back to like Chaos or something so he can actually wrestle. I don't know, send Narita on another excursion, and then have Uncle Nobu go to another faction where he's not just being like, where he can be the heel master but still wrestle.
Actually wrestle and not just
Dick Togo has to go. Dick Togo has to go. Dick Togo got no place.
The dick is not to go, but it has to go.
Yeah, the dick has to go. Dick to go.
Perfect in my eyes. But yes, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're with us live, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your predictions for this year's New Japan Cup tournament starting this Friday. And of course, if you're watching us on demand, you can let us know in the comments down below. But if you are with us live, if you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen and support these New Japan previews and reviews that we do here on the channel, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. We do have one of our members in the channel, James Hayes II, has been a member for 19 months, going on 2 years. Thank you so much, James Hayes, for all the support that you do. He says, hello, everyone. How's everyone today? I'm doing well, even though I have a lot of filming and interviews and stuff I have to do. I am doing well. This is only the second thing I'm doing today. Well,
and SP3, it's so funny because you're in the UK, technically, you should have nearly finished your day, because I guess technically you're still working on US time.
Yes, that's the issue. Is that my writing schedule, which is my real 9 to 5 for Wrestle Talk, that is on UK time, because Wrestle Talk is stationed out in the UK. But all of my filming and stuff is on US time. So,
and I think that I'm a writer. The filming stuff is the hardest, because when you write, you can just sit there, you can just do it like that. But when you're on camera, it's you've got to actually look alive. And so the fact,
exactly.
Ideally you'd want the video stuff to be earlier in the day when you're awake, not after 8 hours of writing.
Yes, I did about 7 hours of writing, and my last hour I was on camera. So I had to write and be on camera at the same time.
So guys, drop a super chat so SP3 actually knows that you appreciate how much this man is doing for the wrestling world.
Yes, we always want that love for our New Japan podcast, because that's when we have Sonal here. So we always appreciate Sonal joining us today. We're missing our third member of the Team J News. Hope that he's feeling well. He was under the weather today, so that's why he couldn't make us. But we're gonna have some fun anyway without him, in his honor. We got Call Me Mr. Banda in the chat, one of our members, who says it's tournament season. He's got the emojis rocking, the heart emoji. He's happy. And he also says low key keen for Stardom Cinderella tournament this year as well. I've been actually catching up on my Stardom over the last week, because they've been having some awesome matches. I would suggest everyone, if you haven't already, go to Stardom's YouTube channel, because they posted the Tam Nakano versus Saya Kamatani World of Stardom Championship matchup, which was Tam's it was supposed to be Tam's retirement match or loser leaves Stardom match. But go out of your way to watch that. That match was fantastic.
I'm just looking at it now. They showed it for live. They're doing it for
live. Yes, live. It was up live. I think they peaked at 16,000 live viewers on Monday.
I've just saved it to my watch later.
And it's in Kurgan Hall, which you always know, Kurgan Hall rocks.
The thing is, we always say this, you could go to obviously I've been in the Tokyo Dome, and the Tokyo Dome was pretty good, but there's obviously Osaka Joe Hall, but nothing will ever be it's small. Kurgan Hall is probably one of the smaller venues, in terms of area space and stuff, but it always has the best crowds.
Yes, because they had that matchup, and then I recently watched the Neo Genesis versus Cosmic Angels trios matchup that Dave Meltzer rated 5 stars. I didn't rate it that high, because I think that Stardom's had much better matches than that one, but that one was state of the art. They were going 100 miles per hour, and that was also in Kurgan Hall. So 2 of their best matches of the year have taken place in Kurgan Hall.
I think that's the thing though, because obviously I don't follow Dave Meltzer, but I don't know how much Stardom. I think the rating system is always going to be different for someone who has watched a lot more of a promotion compared to someone who dibble dabbles with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand why Dave gave it 5 stars, because it was really. It's that trios matchup is another one I would suggest people to go out of their way to watch, because it's this generation's Dragon Gate 6-man from back in 2006 when ROH was in WrestleMania weekend, and they had the Dragon Gate 6-man tag that really put Dragon Gate on the map. that's like that is this version for this generation. Like if you're never watched Stardom, that's a great place to start out, because you'll be like, wow, I've never seen women's wrestling this fast, like high speed, so smooth, so fluid in the ring. So I understand why Dave gave it 5 stars. I just wasn't like into like the story of the matchup as much as like the other 5. I've only rated 2 matches so far this year 5 stars. Both of them happen in New Japan, and both of them are Gabe Kidd matches. So that would give you a clue. It's only Kenny. It's him and Kenny Omega from Wrestle Dynasty, and Gabe versus Yota Tsuji from New Beginning. Those are only 5-star matches that I personally rated this year.
You know what I think? You know, you were saying about this, like, 6-man tag. You know who needs to watch that? Gato! What's going on with the 6-man belts? You know what? Like, over the past year, like, what's it been, like, pot potatoing from, like, Hontai Chaos to House of Torture? Like, just get rid of it at this point.
He doesn't care. He's like, he treats those never open weight 6-man tag team titles like Tony Khan treats Ring of Honor.
I mean, the only good thing is, though, at least, like, the Never title itself has got some prestige now that obviously Takeshita has it. But hell, those Never... There was a time where they meant something, where you had proper teams, and, you know, like when you had, like, the Bullet Club, like GOD and stuff. What's happened to that? We used to be a proper nation of Never 6-man, but, like, I mean, only for a short time, because I think he, like, gets hyped on the title and then forgets about them for, like, 6 months.
Yeah. He tends to do that. It's Gato. It's Gato, people. We just got to get used to it. Got to live with it. But yes, I got Yusuf in the chat as well. He's excited for the junior tournament as well. But yes, we got to talk about the New Japan Cup. And as usual with our previews here on the channel, Sonal, I'll start with you. 0 to 10, what's your excitement level for the start of the New Japan Cup coming up this Friday?
Honestly, about like a 7.5. I think, obviously, the anniversary show is happening tomorrow. So I've kind of got like that on my radar first. Maybe the 2.5 less of that, but also like looking at the matches, like, and we mentioned this earlier. Gato, we don't know what Gato is gonna do. There's a lot of like chances of like him making really shit decisions. Like if you have a look at, if you look at the different matches, like some of them work well in terms of storyline, but like low key, I'll be disappointed.
I do understand where you're coming from. Like I will say that this year with the tournament, there is like, I know there's a lot of people that are probably going to be on the same line of thinking that we are. I think we're very similar on who we think the tournament's going to come down to, or who we think the favorites are. But it's always up in the air with Gato. You never know for sure with Gato if he's thinking the same things that you are.
There's also, it's weird because I was looking at participants, and obviously like there's like no Tanner on it and stuff, but there are a few names. I'm like, why? And I think we also touched upon this at the anniversary. The buys are really weird. Like in the past, they've had some sort of sense of like it's a champion or it's a previous winner. Guys, there is nothing here. There is no.
They literally have previous winners facing each other in the first round.
It just makes no sense. And like, in a sense, some of them aren't random because it links to storylines. So obviously, kayfabe, that's not random. But if you're going to try and make it random, either go fully random or have all cohesion, because this is confusing the shit out of me, Gator.
Indeed. So I think I'm at a solid 7 for the New Japan Cup, because like I said, I don't know for sure who's going to win that one, this year, but I know who I'm going with. Yusuf says, SP3, do you think AEW Revolution has a 5-star match this weekend? I think that there is potential for at least 2 to 3 of the matches to be 5 stars. I think
is Jay on the card? Is Jay on the card?
No, I don't think Jay's on the card, but it is Kenny Omega versus Konosuke Takeshita for the international title. So that has high probability to be 5 stars. You got Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher inside of a steel cage. That could be 5 stars. Swerve versus Ricochet for the #1 contender for the AEW World Title. I've loved their rivalry. That could potentially be 5 stars. And also MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. That can also be 5. So they have at least 4 matches that have a ceiling of 5 stars. So yeah, I think this Sunday we're gonna have one of the best shows of 2024
See,
or
I didn't even watch.
2025.
I didn't even watch AEW, but like 2 of those matches to me are like yes. That's obviously Kenny and Takeshita and Osprey and Fletcher. Especially, I think for me as like someone who's like obviously grown up with the UK scene, Osprey versus Fletcher is going to be huge. But I'm still bitter about Dungzilla moving to the dark side. It's inevitable. But God damn it!
Well, also, I think Will Ospreay just did an interview with the good brother Cam Hawkins for The Ringer, I believe, and he talked about this is his first time doing a traditional U.S. steel cage matchup. So he's excited for the fact that he doesn't know how it's going to work out for him because, you know, he has to live up to the Will Ospreay on pay-per-view reputation that he built last year, but he has to do it with something kind of obstructing the view of the live audience. So he's very excited for it.
But I also think from like a New Japan perspective, the last time that he was in a steel cage, it was that match of the Empire facing the War Dogs. So in that sense, he's already like, obviously, I don't know, AEW fans probably don't care about it. For people like me, who if I watch it, I'm like, oh, I just picture that. Like Osprey already has such a huge thing of like steel cage. He made such a huge impact. But like you said, it's completely different. He's by himself. This is in America. It's a very different.
And that cage was ridiculously small. The doghouse steel cage. And it had all that room. It had all that room outside. Like this is a real steel cage where you stay in the ring.
This match still gives me like it's like one of the it's so hard because you realize what obviously came out of it with like Coughlin and stuff. You're like it was amazing, but goddamn, like it was a match that maybe shouldn't have happened.
Gray Carter saying Timeless Tony Storm versus Mariah May. I don't know if it could be 5 stars because I think that they probably had their best match at All In, and the match at Grand Slam was great. And this is their third and probably their final matchup. I don't know if it's gonna be like on the same level of the matches that I mentioned earlier. I agree with Chase. No way Mox versus Cope is going to be 5 stars. I just want it to be good. That's all I want it to be.
He didn't want to directly mention. He didn't want to directly mention that it wasn't, which is why he only mentioned the ones that were. We didn't directly want to say, well, there ain't no way that's going to be a 5-star.
Yeah. Yusuf, he says, I'd add Monet versus Momo to the list. We can't add that to the list, Yusuf, because we have no idea how the Los Angeles crowd is going to react to Momo. They have not really kind of introduced her to the AEW audience. So it's going to be, it depends on where it is on the card. I think it will deliver. It will be a high 4-star or more type of matchup, but I don't think it has a chance of being 5 stars.
They've not really built it for casuals who would probably know nothing about Stardom, which is a risk because in one sense Momo could like completely shock them and they'll be like, oh my god, this is amazing. Or there could be like a disinterest and like a lack of connection because they don't understand what's going on. Yeah.
It has the potential to be a banger, but 5 stars, you're asking me, is it going to be a perfect match? I don't think it is. I don't think it's going to be perfect. But let's talk about the New Japan Cup and let's look at the bracket here. Sonal, the bracket is as follows. You got the left side. We got our first round matchups that start on Friday over here on the top left. On the bottom left, we have the matches that will go down on March 8th, which is this coming Saturday. Then on Sunday, we got our matches all on the right-hand side of the bracket, but we'll break it down by the date, and we'll start with the first round matches on Friday, and we'll start up top on the left here, as it's going to be IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion Yota Tsuji going one-on-one with the leader of House of Torture, the man that attacked him back at New Beginning and laid him out and said that he's the present and the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Evil. The winner of this matchup will go on to face David Finlay in the next round of the tournament on March 11th. Who do you got here? Tsuji versus Evil.
You're going to hate me, right? And this is not coming from, I want this to happen. This is going from, I think is going to be storyline pushing forward. I think Evil's going to win this.
I'm right there with you. I don't hate you at all. I'm right there with you. It seems fairly obvious. This is the global heavyweight champion in a tournament. He's probably going to lose to someone that's going to challenge for the title coming up, and they've already set this up for Evil to be a next challenger for the global title. So yeah, I agree. Evil
But it's
gets
not
the
even
win.
just that. It's the next one versus Finlay. as
Yeah,
well.
and I was going to bring that up because David Finlay, he just had this matchup against Tsuji at Wrestle Kingdom. But the important
Great
thing
match,
of
by the
what
way.
happened at, yeah, that was the best match at Wrestle Kingdom for sure. But coming off the heels of New Beginning with Evil, after he attacked Gay Kid, he said that he was kicking the War Dogs out of the Bullet Club. So this is going to be a battle for Bullet Club supremacy, if we're both right, of Evil versus David Finlay on March 11th, which is this coming Tuesday. Who do you got there? We both got Evil. Who do you think, Evil or Finlay?
Because of the future, what I'm going to say, Finlay.
I agree with you. We're batting 100% so far. We're both on the same page. I think Finlay makes it out of that first two rounds of that block right there. So let's take a look.
We don't have the Finlay hater.
I know, right? Where's Genesis J? We need Genesis J in the chat to make us feel like J News is here.
Someone needs to balance our love for David Finlay here.
Boss dog. I couldn't even do it because he's not here.
Don't work the same.
Then we got the next on March 7th, the next three portion here of we got Yuya Uemura going one-on-one with Sonata. Uemura made his return at the New Beginning. Great pop for him coming back in Osaka, and he basically stopped the attack of Sonata and Taiji Ishimori on Taichi, rejoining just four guys, making them whole again, making them just four guys once again. Who do you got here? Sonata, a previous winner of the New Japan Cup, versus Uemura.
It's weird because I'm thinking back to my own predictions, and I feel like I'm just going to keep changing my choices. I think Uemura, like I said, I can't remember who I picked. But right now, I feel like Uemura is going to win this one. Because I don't think it's going to be the end of this. But just, again, I always think forward with this sort of stuff. I don't think Finlay versus Sonata is going to happen yet. No. Or ever. So that's why I'm going for that. Always got to think forward with this. Always got to think forward.
You do. I agree with you though. I think that Uemura should get the win, and he will get the win coming up on Friday. So that would mean if we both got Uemura, he would face Yoshihashi on March 11th. So who you got here? Uemura versus Yoshihashi.
You know what? Anyone else? I'd be Team Yoshihashi. We've got the Goto Revolution. Why not Yoshihashi? But I'm going for Uemura again. I agree with you. Watched New Beginnings. Watched his banger against Oiwa. That was a great match.
Yeah. I think I still have to rewatch that because I was going back and watching a lot of the Road to New Beginning. Last week or the week before I watched the ELP Jeff Cobb matchup, which was great as well. So yeah, I'll go out of my way to watch Uemura versus Yoshihashi. But yeah, I think Yoshihashi will give Uemura a great fight, but I'm going to take Uemura for the win. So far,
we're all the same.
We're all the same up top. So we both got David Finlay coming out the first three. Then we got Uemura coming out the next three. Then we're going to move to March 8th, which is this coming Saturday. And we got on the bottom left, Ryohei Oiwa going one-on-one with Chase Owens. We don't have to go through the pleasantry here. It's Oiwa for the win.
Yeah.
Why are you here, Chase? I'm sorry.
The match, obviously, the match that we want next. Gato didn't give us Taichi versus Zack Sabre Jr., right? So he's got to give us something that the people want. And obviously, Oiwa did an interview with New Japan 1972. You gotta read it. They do really good interviews. And he was like, if he faces Zack Sabre Jr., he's not going to be facing him as like a stablemate. And I love that because Chaos is always really, like, obviously this is TMDK, but Chaos are the faction whenever they face each other, they just don't give a shit. Like, they'd like, and I want to see that with this. The mentor versus the mentee.
I agree with you. We said his name and he appeared. Genesis J is here. And he sends us a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Genesis J. We always love seeing you in the chat. He says, I'm all in for our Lord and Savior, Evil, sending Nepo packing.
There we go. J News is represented now. J News is represented.
Represented by his number one fan, Genesis J. Thank you, Genesis, for joining us. We got a couple of Uemura in the chat calls there. We got Call Me Mr. Banda, who also thinks Uemura gets the win over Yoshihashi and Chase. And Chocobo Sage saying, Oyoa, please, God.
We love Oiwa in this. We love Oiwa in this.
Absolutely. So we all got Oyoa getting the win over Chase Owens. So that means we would get TMDK versus TMDK Sonal, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Roye Oyoa. Who you got March 11th?
I'm going to be controversial here. I have Oiwa again.
Okay, so we can finally break our run, our streak of agreeing.
Don't ask me for my reasoning of it. In my head, it makes sense. I'm going to try and justify it later.
I'm gonna go with Zach. I'm gonna go with Zach for the win. Only because I can't have my dog be losing too much. He already lost the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I'm gonna call him a New York native because he lived in Brooklyn for 2 years. He told me that personally. So I can't have my New York brethren losing too often. So, and especially not losing to his young boy in the TMDK. So
fair enough.
Got you.
I've got no logic. This might even be like the same bloody thing. Like I might have said something different in my own preview. I don't know. It depends how I'm feeling on the day.
I love it. Next we got this one should be very good, as you got on the left hand side bottom. We got the last three on this left hand side. So we got Gabe Kidd going one-on-one with Ren Narita. Another battle of the Bullet Club War Dogs versus the House of Torture, but this one is a lot more personal. These two guys, of course, spend time in the LA dojo together. Gabe Kidd talked about how Narita, he helped him, and he basically helped him out when he came over to the LA dojo on excursion. So a lot of personal animosity between the two men. What do you got here on March 8th?
Again, controversial. And also, you said it should be a good one. This all depends on how Narita's feeling. Okay? So it depends.
I think it's going to be a good one because Gabe always brings something out of the Three Musketeers.
So on my preview, I said that Narita was going to win. But now I'm thinking that I was probably wrong. And I don't know what in my head thought, so I'm going for Gabe Kidd. This is why.
What in my head thought that?
I'm going to plug it later, but this is why you should watch my video after this, just to see what is going on in my head, because, like, I was just coming up with things on the spot there, trying to get it out, and, like, a few days before now, I'm, like, completely changing my tune.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going with Gabe Kidd here, and it seems like the chat is all with that. Mr. Bonda says, Kidd kills Narita.
And breaks his wooden dildo. I think it's metal now, actually.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Cobb already broke it back at Wrestle Kingdom, but
no, but then he got a new one, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did, because that's how he knocked out Kidd. So that means that we would have Gabe Kidd going one-on-one with Tai Chi on March 12th. I am going to go with Gabe Kidd there because Tai Chi's in this slump right now, and I think the slump continues in the New Japan Cup.
See, if I was you, because you picked Zack in the other one, I'd have picked Tai Chi. Just to get my Dangerous Tekkers reunion. But
I know you would.
That's not the case, and I didn't pick Zack, so I'm going for Gabe Kidd, just because I think, obviously, his dojo, then OUI was in the next one. I think it'd be I think that would be a mental match. That would be insane, Gabe versus Oiwa. Also, because I think if it goes with your idea, we've seen Zach versus Gabe before. I need to see Gabe Kidd versus Oiwa. It's like I need it in my soul.
I mean, we saw that. I think didn't they face on the one of the New Japan USA shows? It wasn't Fighting Spirit Unleashed. What was the one in like December? Was that that was the same one with Mercedes and Hazuki? Strong Style Evolved.
Yeah. But like I need to see it now because obviously Oiwa's come leaps and bounds. And can I shout out to Christopher for the Tai Chi win? We all want Tai Chi to win, but it's not gonna happen. Because Gato hates Tai Chi.
He did. He does. It is what it is. It's never gonna happen. Zach and Tai Chi. Maybe in the the G1. Put them in the same block. Yeah. All right. So now we go over to the right-hand side, Sonal, and we're gonna start at the top. March 9th has all 4 of these first-round matchups. First up, we got the NJPW World Television Champion for now, before Bishop Dyer gets here. El Phantasmo will go one-on-one with the Great Okan. This is an interesting one. I think this is the first one to me in the first round that feels like a toss-up. I could see ELP winning. I could see Great Okan winning. For now, though, I'm going to go with Great Okan.
All right, so I've got ELP because, again, I'm thinking forward. Because, obviously, I got ELP to face Shota. And we've been saying this for months, though, haven't we? I think ELP faces Shota, and then something cracks in Shota, and he finally turns heel. Again, manifesting something we've been manifesting for months. But that's what I think would be the best. We don't need to see Okan versus Shota again. It's happened. The guy shaved his head. But this will be Shota's first, obviously, post-shave, like first big singles one. Because I'm not sure if he'll have matches before that. But the idea that he goes to go with ELP, who's like meant to be his best friend, then something cracks because like something happens there and he loses and he goes mental. I've been pushing this narrative for a while.
You're kind of convincing me. I won't lie. You're kind of convincing me that might be the right choice. But I'm gonna try to be different, and I'll go with Great Okan still.
Stick with your gut.
Yeah, I'll stick with my gut. I'll go with Great Okan still. So that would mean you would have El Phantasmo versus Shota Umino on March 12th, and I would have Great Okan versus Shota Umino on March 12th. Who do you got, ELP or Shota?
And that one I have Shota for. I think I changed my thoughts from what I did on my own preview, but yeah, I think Shota. Honestly, guys, I'm really sorry. This is like, more people like, you should be more professional. No, because I did my review like a week and a half ago. A lot of things have changed in a week.
A lot of things can change in a week.
To be fair, though, my main prediction hasn't changed. Like the overall one. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, you could get some of these wrong, but as long as you get at the end, you get the pick that you know, either the finals or both or the winner for sure. Like, yeah, you're good. But we got over here on the right-hand side, also on March 9th, it's going to be Tetsuya Naito going one-on-one with United Empire's own Callum Newman. These two men have faced on a couple of occasions over the past year, with Naito having a dominant kind of run of matches against Callum Newman. Can Newman finally defeat the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion? What do you think?
Controversially, I have Callum winning again for story wise. Again, just wait until just wait till we speak about the next like branch, then that'll make a bit of sense. But yeah, I have Callum beating Naito.
I can't do it. I wish I could, and I know it would be a lot. And I think this is not the first time you've predicted Callum Newman to beat Naito. I think the last time they had a major match, you did pick him to get the upset. So I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm gonna go with Naito here, only because I think there's someone else who can get the upset or the big win over Naito. Not really an upset in my eyes, because yes, if Naito wins, if I'm right, that means on March 14th it would be Tetsuya Naito versus Jeff Cobb. And if you're right, we get an all United Empire second round matchup of Callum Newman versus Jeff Cobb. I'm gonna go with Jeff Cobb beating Naito on March 14th. What about you? Callum versus Cobb.
I'm going for Jeff beating Callum, but the reason I picked Callum was just everything to do with the United Empire. Obviously, again, I'm thinking this very story-wise base, but obviously, Jeff Cobb said something needs to change. There's been so many rifts in the Empire. In the Akira interview, they spoke about, like, obviously when he got angry when Despy mentioned TJP. And I kind of think that by having, because trying to figure out, like, by having this whole United Empire, it can maybe plant a few more seeds for, and as sad as it is, I think the eventual disbandment of the Empire.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I think if I'm right, that means that in the next round it would be Great O'Khan versus Jeff Cobb. So either way,
that makes sense.
Either way we go at it, we both have United Empire versus United Empire sometime in this tournament. So
leading to something that is gonna cause the downfall of United Empire, which is sad. But I think after Ospreay left, I think it was like almost inevitable.
Yeah. Unless they were very firm with who they wanted to be the leader, and they never were. In the past year, you've had times where TJP was considered the leader and said he was the leader after he made it just to the final. I think the final four of the Best of Super Junior, not even to the finals, which that was the simplest thing you could have done, Gato. But he wanted to go the difficult route, and he got named the leader, but then he never felt like the leader after he was named the leader. So at times it felt like Jeff Cobb. At times it felt like Great O'Khan was more of the leader, and now we're here a year later where it seems like we're coming to an end for United Empire.
And that's the thing. It's not even a case of, oh, it's because TJ is a junior, blah, blah. The problem is TJ is not as present in New Japan. I think if they had Cobb or O'Khan, it makes sense because, yeah, obviously O'Khan is in New Japan full time. But even if you think about the last few months or last year, Jeff Cobb has basically been on basically every tour for New Japan and would have been the better person to represent. Obviously, the only other person who's like full-time Japan is Akira, but God bless, he's still a baby. Can't be a leader yet. But you know what I mean? They need someone who's like... It's different, I think, for like something like the War Dogs. Because they've all got quite bold and there's obviously that sort of thing. But for Empire, they've always needed a leader. And yeah.
See, like apparently, if you ask like 100 New Japan fans, you'll probably get like 50 different answers. Like out of those 100 people, you'll get like 50 different answers of who they think is the leader.
Someone will say Gideon, right?
He was the mouthpiece for a time, so could say that. Now we got to the bottom right-hand side of the bracket here, and we got on March 9th as well. Probably my pick for the match to watch in the first round of the tournament. Tomohiro Ishii going one-on-one with Drilla Maloney. Big, meaty men slapping meat. This is going to be a meaty, hard-hitting fest. I can't wait, but I'm got Drilla Maloney getting the win. What about you, Sonal?
I don't know why we have to wait so long for this, but I also have Driller because, again, there is no way. It's just like Shingo. You cannot even convince me that this man was once a junior. Like, something was obviously wrong there. Because that man he's always been heavyweight Driller. I just think they tweaked the numbers a bit because they needed someone to team with Connors.
He just cut his hair and he added like 100 pounds of muscle.
All he did is like when he was doing the weigh-in, he just didn't drink any water or eat anything, and then straight after he was just like, He went to the toilet before the weigh-in. He just didn't eat it like before, and then like afterwards he was like, I don't care until the next weigh-in.
Just eating protein all day. That's what this man does. So, are we both going with Drilla?
Yeah.
So this is crazy because I read the preview on New Japan, NJPW1972.com. So this would mean that we both got Drilla versus TJP. Can you believe this is going to be their first singles match if it goes down on March 14th? After all the million times the War Dogs and Catch 2 faced off, this is the first singles match between Drilla Maloney and TJP. I still got Drilla getting the win.
Yeah, I still have Driller. It might also lead into everything with the Empire. Like, TJ can't even, he got a bye and he can't even get through. But, like, hell, like, Driller is a superhuman. He's a super athlete. Like, sometimes you worry that, because obviously he was, like he always said, he's a big fish in a small pond when he was a junior. But even in the heavyweight, he's still a big fish, but in a big pond. You know, like when ELP moved, because ELP's got a slighter frame. I think ELP was obviously, it took a bit longer for that. But obviously with the wins that Driller has picked up and like the momentum, yeah, he's made the perfect transition.
Yeah, this was a seamless transition for Drilla Maloney. It's probably the most seamless transition from junior to heavyweight that we've seen since Ospreay and Shingo back in 2019.
Again, Shingo should never have been a junior. That was all because Hiromu got injured, and they were like, we were gonna bring him in anyways. Let's just pretend he's a junior to team with Bushi and put him in the best of Super Junior.
So this would mean then we got the final three at the bottom right-hand side. So now on March 9th, we got Boltin Oleg going one-on-one with Bad Luck Fale, just like Chase Owens. I'm not going to waste time. Boltin Oleg gets the win.
I'm not looking forward to this match at all. I'd rather watch Bloody Evil match than this. You guys know how I feel about Oleg, and I'm not going to be done. We're not going to speak about what Fale can do. But why? Why is this match a thing?
I don't want this match to go over 5 minutes.
Four tops.
Yes. 4 minute time limit match. That's what I want. Yeah. And Boltin Oleg automatically wins. Not even if he loses, he still wins and advances.
Like I know everyone's like, oh, well, Tanahashi's 90 because Tanahashi's on his last legs. I'd 10 out of 10 rather watch Tanahashi in the New Japan Cup than watch Fale in the New Japan Cup. Like, we don't know where the man's been. Like, when was the last time we saw Fale? I don't know what shape he's in. Like, why is he in it?
They ran out of people? I don't know.
They
It's
ran
weird.
out of people. I'm not gonna say
They could have put a Romo in this.
They literally, he's like on the borderweight. They could have put, I don't know, Kushida, anybody. There's literally endless amount. Hell, put Bushi in it.
Okay, that's a little too far for me.
Okay, maybe Bushi's a bit too far. But you get.
That's right. I draw the line.
Put Yano in it because at least if like the thing, at least it's funny.
That's true. It could have been Yano. Should have been Yano.
The scissors, the tape. I don't know. Does anyone but Fale? Unless Fale's gonna prove me wrong, but I doubt it. Man's not suddenly become like the best athlete in the bloody like what is he, Rogue Army? Harley Jackson should have been in it, or someone in TMD. I don't know. There's plenty of people it could have been.
Yeah.
Harley should have been in it. I don't know why he wasn't in it. Justice.
So that would mean Boltin Oleg versus Shingo Takagi on March 14th. I got Shingo for the win.
Yeah, I've got Shingo with the hope that Shingo can bring something out of Mr. Boltin Oleg. Something. Just give me
All right. So then we got the Elite 8 here on March 15th. We're going to get on the top left-hand corner, we got David Finlay, both of us coming out of that 3, and we got Yuya Uemura coming out. So Uemura versus Finlay on March 15th. I got Finlay for the win.
I got Finlay as well. I think we're just going sort of the same direction here.
I think so too. Then you got on the left hand bottom corner, we got out of that 3, you got Oyoa, I got Zack Sabre Jr., And then at the bottom, we both we both have Gabe Kidd. We both have Gabe Kidd coming out of that. So I got ZSJ versus Gabe Kidd. You got Oyowa versus Gabe Kidd. I'm going with ZSJ to beat Gabe Kidd here. Who do you got?
Because of my word, obviously, how I've done this, I've Oyowa because, again, I don't see Finlay versus Gabe Kidd.
Not yet. Not yet. That's for Wrestle Kingdom.
Soon, but
Wrestle Kingdom. So yeah, I got Zack Sabre Jr. So that would mean I got Zack Sabre Jr. versus David Finlay, and you got Oyowa versus David Finlay, and that semifinals match goes down on March 16th. I'm going with David Finlay to make it to the finals on this left-hand side. What you got?
yeah, I also have David. Yeah, I have Finlay.
Look at that.
I don't know if anyone sees a trend here. What might be the final prediction?
Look at that. Well, we had different on the bottom. You got Oyowa losing to Finlay. I got Finlay beating the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Zack Sabre Jr.
I mean, at the end, it's
All right.
Finlay, isn't it? It's fine. It all leads back to Finlay, so we're fine.
All leads back to Finlay on this left-hand side. So that means on the right-hand side, we got at the top right-hand corner, I got who did I say? I said Great O'Khan beating Shota.
Yeah.
So I got Great O'Khan versus Jeff Cobb. You got Shota versus Jeff Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
So who you got?
Jeff Cobb. Gachimuchi Jeff Cobb.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you. I'm going with Jeff Cobb on the 15th. I'll go with Jeff Cobb there. And then at the bottom, we both got Drilla coming out of that 3, and we both got Shingo. So Drilla Maloney versus Shingo Takagi, round 2, the rematch from New Beginning on March 15th. This time, though, I think Shingo gets the win.
I also have Shingo on this one.
Oh, let's go. So that means we get the rematch that I've been watching for years now, Sonal. I've been wanting this rematch since they nearly stole the show at Wrestle Kingdom 4 years ago. Jeff Cobb versus Shingo Takagi. Lord, please, Gato, please be watching this and give us what we want. But I got Shingo Takagi beating Jeff Cobb.
I have Jeff Cobb. Right, because, and this is a thing of like, again, I was really torn in my own predictions. I was torn between this, but this one I sort of said, fuck it, I'm gonna go with my heart. Give Jeff Cobb his dues. And I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I know who's gonna win anyway, who I want to win, who I think's gonna win. So why not just let Jeff Cobb get to the final? Just the man deserves it.
I mean, that would really kind of pay off with the character work that he's been doing as far as he left and he said he needs to find himself. So yeah, I mean, there is a good chance I could be wrong, and yeah, Jeff Cobb could get the win. I
wouldn't mind if Shingo made. Do you know what I mean? Like, out of those two, either of them can do it, and I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah. So we got a lot of different predictions here. So just, guys, I know you've been predicting the matches that we've been doing, but just give us your final prediction for who you think is making the finals. So Sonal has David Finlay versus Jeff Cobb.
Which I realized because it's a Gai Kokujin final.
See, I always keep that in mind, that I have to have one Japanese homegrown, one Japanese talent in there. Genesis J is keeping up with his David Finlay haterism, saying I got Finlay not even getting a win.
That's channeling J News right there.
Mr. Bonda's got Umino cheating to beat Takagi.
For the heel turn. Yeah. You're pushing for the heel turn like me, aren't you? Yes, I agree.
Going for the heel turn. And then we got Yusuf, who says Finlay versus Shooter is my finals. We got Chris, who agrees with me, going with Shingo versus Finlay. We got Greg, who says Finlay versus Cobb. We also got Call Me Mr. Bonda. He says, I just want Uemura to win the whole damn thing. Heat Storm agenda. So we got a bunch of different.
I'd love that. I'd love Uemura, but I don't think it's his time yet. It's not his time yet. But you know what? Next year, maybe. Call Me Mr. Bonda. next year, keep an eye out for. Like I said, he's just come back. He's going to be feuding with just 4 guys. No, I mean with them War Dogs for a while. So just let him linger on that for a bit.
All right. So you got Finlay versus Jeff Cobb. I got Finlay versus Shingo. So how we do this is what me and Jay News have done the last couple of years for the New Japan Cup. We're going to count to 3. We're going to go from 3, 2, 1, and then we say our pick for the winner of this year's 2025 New Japan Cup tournament. So 3, 2, 1. David Finlay. We're on the same page. We were connecting on a lot of this. We switched up a couple of ones, but we came to the same conclusion. It has to be the Boss Dog's year.
You know why? And also, like, I did this just because, like, sorry, J News. Sorry, Genesis J.
Sorry, Genesis J.
He's given all the energy that J News would give us for our prediction. But guys, it makes total sense because if you think about it, obviously we had the amazing G1 match that they had. Then obviously the match after that, they are one apiece. I believe it's one apiece, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the final match should be for the IWGP title at Sakura Genesis. Again, whatever happens that, we'll speak about that later. But it just makes sense.
We got Christopher who's going with Shingo for the win. We got a couple of Finleys in here. Greg Carter's II, as well as Yusuf. Genesis J, let us know who your pick is since we're gross for picking David Finlay. Just not Finlay.
Genesis J's winner is literally anyone but Finlay. That's his answer.
Anyone but Finlay, please. We got Mr. Bonda who's saying you. So
give it a year. Call me Mr. Bonda. Give it a year, and you know what? I'll see him either winning the G1 or the New Japan Cup.
We love you, Genesis J. He says anyone but Finlay. Yes.
You have to represent J News here. He's not here to do it himself.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you for that. So final thing that we can predict. What do you think is going to be the match of the tournament? Out of all the matches that we discussed, what do you think is the match of the tournament? If we're right, I think it's going to be Shingo versus Jeff Cobb.
So Shingo versus Jeff Cobb. We mentioned it earlier. Ishii versus Driller. I think is going to be phenomenal. Similarly, if my side, I know you said one, but I'm going to dabble on a few. If we get Oiwa versus Gabe, I think that'll be a phenomenal match as well.
Yeah, I think Zach versus Gabe would probably be my second pick behind Shingo and Jeff Cobb. Yeah.
I just think that anything that you put Gabe with anyone, it's going to create magic. Similar with Shingo. Like, there's certain people who just create magic with whoever they're with.
Yeah. Gabe is one of those guys.
You could put Gabe with Jack Perry and he might actually give him a good match.
Wouldn't go that far, but we made it to the end of our New Japan Cup tournament preview. I want to thank Sonal for joining me today and thank all of you for being a part of the conversation. Always appreciate the love that we get in the chat. Sonal, give you the floor. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they can see your very own New Japan Cup preview, where you probably picked a lot of different things that you picked here.
So you can follow me on the X at wrestling_chat. Make sure to subscribe to me on YouTube at Sonal's Life. Obviously, my predictions, mainly it's all the same, but there are a few differences. But also make sure to subscribe because tomorrow is the anniversary show. And I'm hoping to get a video out, not as soon as it finishes, but obviously that evening. So I don't know, like me and SP3 and Janice were talking about this. We don't know how many people are going to be covering it, but I will be there on the day with everything that happened at the anniversary show.
Yes, and I will probably do a solo review for that show for our members of the channel or Patreon backers, so be on the lookout for that as well. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I should be live tonight over on Fightful. I'll be on the AEW Dynamite post show with Alice Pulowski, so join me for that. I'll be live tomorrow on Fightful Overbooked with Joel Pearl on In the Weeds at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And of course, join us live here on the channel at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time for AE Ramble as we review AEW Dynamite as only we can. We got our Revolution preview this week. We got the flagship podcast. We'll have a Revolution review on Sunday. So a lot to look forward to. Check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like our WWE Elimination Chamber 2025 review that we did, talking all about the John Cena heel turn and breaking it down, what we think it's gonna result in. Check out our Monday Night Raw review with Rated Raw review with myself and Romeo. So check out all the great stuff. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Drop the thumbs up, comment down below with your predictions from this year's New Japan Cup tournament. Me and Sonal will be back with you to definitely cap off everything from the New Japan Cup tournament when everything is done. So be on the lookout for that as well. But for Sonal, for our good brother Jay News at home, resting up, this has been our NJPW New Japan Cup 2025 preview. We are signing off until next time.